Hi guys, we're going to be discussing today some of the latest updates that's been brought into the eVision Care system. We're going to go ahead and start with your front desk. The first change that's been brought about in the front desk is with regards to your search functionality. You will now be able to search patients using either last name or first name, or you would be able to search patients using a combination of first name and last name characters. You no longer require a minimum of 3 characters for searching any patients. I'm going to go ahead and search for a patient with the last name starting with THO and first name starting with ASH. If there's just one single combination of this particular first name and last name characters, the patient's file automatically gets pulled up into your patient's info grid on the front desk. Or for example, I'm trying to search for a patient that starts with T as their last name and A as their first name. Such a combination, if there are multiple patient records that starts with T with regards to their last name and A with regards to their first name, a list basically generates and you will be able to pull the patient that you are looking for. The logic behind how the system searches is when you type in a combination of first name and last name, the system tries to go through your patient records, pull everybody with that combination. If there is multiple patients with that combination, their name generates as a list that you saw before, and then you would be able to choose the one that you want. If there's just one single patient with that combination, their name automatically gets pulled up onto the screen. I'm going to show you the best efficient way to search for a patient also. As you can see, there's 2 boxes and you might think that you would need the help of a mouse to go from one box to the other and then click on the go button. The best way would be using the tab key on your keyboard as well as the enter key on your keyboard. So I would type in my last name, use the tab, type in the first name I'm looking for, and then use the enter key on the keyboard to bring that patient's information. This makes search much faster as well as much efficient. The next change that you would see is within the patient's information or the patient info tab right here, you'll be able to see that all the mandatory fields have been highlighted in yellow. So that makes it much more visible. You'll be able to put in all the information that is actually required by the system to save a patient's information. A couple of other changes that's been brought about in the system is now you will be able to text message patients right from the front desk. Just hit on this text message icon right here and then you will be able to send patients text message directly from the system. You also can use the predefined template right here to choose any message that's already been predefined within your system, as the first example here. It says, "Hi, this is your OD's office. Glasses ready for pickup. Come ASAP." You can just go over, choose that message, and then go ahead, click OK, and then send it. It relieves you from the time that is required for you to type in very frequent messages that you might be sending your patients. And then you can just go ahead and hit on the send text message button right there. You also have a copy phone number button right here. Say you want to copy the patient's primary phone number into the cell phone number field. You just need to hit on this copy phone number button right there, and then it copies the patient's primary phone number to your cell phone field. This becomes very handy, especially if the patient just has one single phone number and that is a cell phone, which is also their primary number. So just type it in once, use the copy button right there to copy it into the cell phone field also. You also have a copy address button right here. If I want to copy somebody's address to this patient's file, all that I need to do is click on that address button right there and then choose the patient I want to copy the address from. So I'm going to choose this patient and hit go. If there's a patient under that name, that patient's address automatically, as you can see, gets copied into this patient's file. You also can see that right now, directly from the patient information page right here, you will be able to see when this patient's next appointment is, when the next recall date is, and so on. You would also notice that we have completely changed the layout of your questionnaire. The questionnaire looks brand new and fresh. It's much neatly laid out. As you can see, everything is completely changed. And we also have included a questionnaire history, which basically tells you when the questionnaire was last updated and what the history of that questionnaire was. We also have a functionality that basically when a new patient comes in, if you have your area code already within your configuration within the eVision Care system, the area code automatically gets pulled up. So it helps you in just typing the following numbers after the area code. We also will be able to book patients directly from front desk rather than going to the calendar. It makes it much simple. Just pull the patient's information and then you'll be able to book the patient right from front desk. How do you do that? You go directly to your appointment schedule and you would be able to book appointments using the grid right here. Choose the week when the patient wants to come in and then choose the doctor that you're trying to book for. Choose a time and then you'll be able to hit on the check availability button right there, and then it basically shows you when the doctor is available based on the convenience of the patients and your doctor's availability. Choose a day and then choose a particular time when the patient can come in. If everything goes well, if that particular appointment is available, there's no other appointments booked for that patient on one day, when you hit choose and when you hit confirm this appointment, the appointment will be confirmed, as you can see here. So it's pretty much straightforward and pretty much easy to go ahead and book appointments right from front desk. You would also be able to create multiple appointments using this particular tab here. This becomes very effective for our VT clients. You can just use this create multiple button right there. Choose the doctor's name, the appointment code they're coming in for, and the number of bookings that you're looking into. I want to book this patient for 3 sessions of appointments, and I'm also going to choose the repeat. I'm going to do it a weekly basis, and I'm just going to give the system an idea of when I want this patient to be coming in. So I'm going to try Wednesdays, and I'm going to try 10:30 on Wednesday, and I'm going to go ahead and hit run. So if the system is able to find appointments with that particular filter that we provided in, the results are going to be pulled up. So as you can see, on the 12th of Wednesday at 10:30, yes, there's an availability, that's why the tick. And on the 26th, on a Wednesday, there's an availability at 10:30 a.m. But as you can see, on the 19th, there's no availability, so that's a reason why you have a cross mark. At this point, you can always use a calendar to manually go ahead and choose an appointment that better suits the patient. So there's no I cannot see a Wednesday right now here, but if the patient's okay coming on a Tuesday between 1 and 2, I would choose that option, and I'm going to choose a particular time that works for that patient. And right now, as you can see, it's a tick mark. That means that that appointment is available, and then you would just go ahead and hit confirm appointment. So right now, at the same time, you have booked 3 appointments for that patient. So it becomes much easier and much faster. If you take a look into the bottom part of your routing system, you can see that right now you would be able to change the appointment billing type of a patient after the patient's been arrived in the system. You can highlight that particular patient, right click, and then you can always use the edit and add billing function, with which you can edit or add any billing to any patient that's in the clinic for today. You also have a button that helps you to edit any appointment notes for that particular day. All that you need to do is choose the patient, click this pencil button right here, and then type in any appointment note for that particular appointment, and you can always go ahead and save that note. These are some of the changes that's been brought about with respect to front desk. If you go to the calendar, you will be able to see that there's a lot of color coding right now in the calendar. Let's choose one particular appointment and see what the color code means. If I choose this particular appointment right here that's highlighted in the blue, you can see that the top part of that appointment grid is like a peachy orangey color. That basically is the doctor's set color within the doctor's profile, as you can see right here too, for Dr. Dan Mesbah. That basically helps you to say who the appointment is booked for. If you look at the bottom part of the grid, you can see that it's a purple shade that basically helps you understand what type of an appointment it is. So a particular appointment grid has two colors. The top part will let you know which doctor the appointment is booked for, and the bottom part would let you know what type of appointment it is. We also have a quick time picker right here, which basically lets you pick appointment times on an interval of 5 minutes, as you can see here. So you have 1 o'clock, you have 1:05, 1:10, and so on. You would also notice in your system that any appointment that's being confirmed using a pre-book confirmation will be having a smiley face. Unfortunately, this is a test system, and that's the reason why I'm not able to show you any smiley face. But yes, on your system, every single appointment that's being confirmed using a pre-book confirmation method will be having a smiley face right here on the appointment. These are some of the changes within the appointment module. If I go ahead to the dispensary right now, this is one of the features that so many of our clients have been asking us for. You have a feature called as your undo button right now. So what an undo button lets you do is it basically lets you undo any order that you have created today. So if you find out before the end of that day, if you catch that there was an error for any of the order that was created before the end of today, you would be able to safely undo that order without having to go through the hassle of returning it, deleting it, and stuff like that. So all that you need to do is click on that order that you've made an error on, you can always go, I'm sorry, not this way though. You right click it, preview glass order, and then you would be able to see the undo this order button here, and you also have an undo reason field right here. So I'm going to put wrong frame as a reason, and I'm going to go ahead and undo this order. So it's asking you, are you sure you want to undo this order? And what it's going to do is proceeding with this option will remove orders, invoices, any PO attached to this order. Do you still want to continue? You hit yes, and as you can see, that order is completely being removed from your active grid. So any order that's being created that particular day, you would be able to undo it before the day ends. All that you need to do is choose the order, right click, preview glass order, and you will be able to see the undo order button right there. Another change that's been brought up within your dispensary is if you go to the order manager, you will be able to filter out your orders based on 3 options. Right now I'm on a show all option where I'll be able to see all the orders in my clinic, be it contact lenses or glasses. But if I'm just looking for glasses, I can always go ahead and choose this particular button, right, radio button, that basically just pulls out all the glasses, or contact lenses that basically just pulls out all orders with relation to contact lenses. These are some of the changes brought about in the dispensing. I'm going to go ahead and go to your patient communication. A huge change that's been brought about in patient communication is with respect to pre-book confirmation. Right now, you would be able to send automated phone calls for your pre-book confirmation. All that you need to do is similar procedure. You would go ahead and hit phone, choose all the patients that have set phone as their primary method of communication, and then you would be able to send out voice calls. And what that voice call basically conveys to your patient is, hello, this is your OD's office calling, and it looks like you have an appointment booked for this day. If you would like to confirm, please hit 1. If you would like to reschedule, please hit 2. So if they hit 1, the appointment automatically gets confirmed and it gets removed from this list. But if they choose 2, what it does is it automatically connects the call to your office. So you want to make sure that when you do appointment confirmations with respect to voice calls, you want to make sure that you send 5, 6 at the same time, because or you're going to have, if they all of them decides to call back, you might have a lot of traffic with regards to the phone calls that's coming into your office, because if they click option 2, the phone call gets redirected to your office and your staff will be able to assist the patient either in rescheduling the appointment, moving the appointment, or deleting the appointment if that's what they want. So that's the basic change that's brought about in dispensing. You would also see that under OHIP, if I want to edit this patient's information before I send to the ministry, I can choose this pencil button and then I'll be able to change anything that I want, including billing code, diagnostic code, etc. So this has been editable by the staff right now, so that anything that you want to change within the OHIP part of the patient's appointment, you guys would be able to change it or update it under the OHIP module. You also would be able to note that right now when a patient is being checked out, so I'm going to go ahead and process check out for this patient. You'll be able to see that you can book this patient in a much better fashion. So you can go ahead and book this patient, and then depending on when the patient says to book the patient or when the doctor wants the patient to come in, the date automatically pulls up, and then you would be able to choose why the patient is coming, choose the time, and the same procedure follows. And then you would be able to pick any time and day that the patient would like to come in. If that appointment is available, when you hit confirm, you're going to get a message saying that appointment is available. If you want, you can always go ahead and put any appointment notes that you want, and then you can go ahead and hit confirm this appointment button right there. So it becomes much easy. Similar is the way with the recalls. You also have under your invoices, if you click on create invoice button right there, you will be able to see right here, you have a new note that you guys can print it on your invoice. So that's the bottom field that you see, note to be printed on invoice. So if at all you guys have any note that you want to be printed on your invoice as a personal note, say for example somebody came in, they have an outstanding credit of $25, so you can put, and if the patient wants it to be written down by you guys, you can say outstanding credit $25 or something, and you can go ahead and save it. So when you save it, that note would be saved under that particular patient's invoice, and when you hand it over to them, they have that note printed out. So you can write any note that you want the patient to have on that particular invoice. These are some of the basic changes that's been brought about within this system. If you guys have any questions, any concerns about these changes, please feel free to call us at 519-962-9057. And I also want to let you guys know that when you get an update in the system, you guys want to make sure that you go ahead and clear your browsing history. And we want to make sure that we also set the clearing the browsing history to from the beginning of time. And we also want to make sure that we delete our browsing history on all the browsers that we might be using the system on. So once you go ahead and hit the clear the browsing history, you would be able to see the latest update. And the best way to see if you have the latest update is just go to the front desk, and if you see these two individual search fields, you would be able to know that you have the latest updates in the system. As I mentioned before, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach us at 519-962-9057, or you can also use the help desk button. While I'm here, I'm so sorry, I think I forgot to show you guys another change that's been there in the system. We've got right now under the dashboard, we've got completely two buttons here for creating new tasks, and we have a totally different button here for creating new referrals. So if you wanted to go ahead and create referrals, you can always use the create new referral button there, and then you can just put in all the information that is mandatory and go ahead and generate your referrals. I believe I was able to cover most of the topics that I wanted to convey to you guys. Please stay tuned for any changes or any updates that's coming up in the system. We will make sure that we have a video created for you guys, or call you up personally in your offices and give you an idea about what are the changes. I hope this video was helpful. Let us know if any questions again. Thank you so much. Bye.